All right, I got my Harig grinder back together. Just wanted to go over what it takes to replace the oiling system in this machine. So, all you'll need is 5 feet of 1/4 inch diameter, 1/8 inch inside diameter Tygon tubing. 5 feet should cover it. On the outside of the machine, so you have your line that goes from the tank to up here, and this one's actually pretty tricky to replace, but you take off this front cover. You would take off the back, but you have to remove the motor to do that, and I didn't want to do it. So you take off this front cover, push it all the way forward on the spindle. There's 2 metal clips that are roughly on the inside, about right there and right there. They're pretty tricky to get in there to get the tubing through. But it took me probably 20 minutes to do it. I used pliers, and the little metal clips are, they're really close to the back and in the corner, so they're you can't really use your hands. It's pretty tricky. The other tubing is right here under the table. You could probably replace that without taking the saddle and table off, but it'd be really difficult. Or at least kind of difficult. Not impossible. All right, here's the back cover, factory cover. Here's the oil pump. So this is from Amazon. It's like $31. I'll put a link in the description for it. It's super quiet. I'll turn it on. That's it. Uses like 13 watts of electricity. I drilled and tapped a 4mm hole, and just sits right there and keeps the oil out of the or the pump out of the oil. You'll need an 1/8 inch MIP nipple and an 1/8 inch FIP T, and then you just use your factory Harig connectors, an elbow and a valve, and compression fittings that come with it, or that came with the machine. And then there's already a screen right there, but I added on the inside of that screen another 120 mesh screen that's a little bit finer than the one they have on there. So that's pretty much all I did. This thing's super quiet, and it's nice. Moves oil. You can see it's pumping oil already. Plenty of oil for this machine. And then the other tubing, you see that that connector back there, that's the one that goes to the saddle. That's pretty much it there. It's pretty self-explanatory how to remove the table, but this thing's cable drive uses this neat cable system. There's a hook on the other side, right there. You just unscrew that one nut on the end, and then you can take the cable out. And then it's best to use 2 people. I did it by myself, but I'm a pretty good sized dude. It weighs probably 125 pounds, something like that. It's kind of awkward. Take that, set it down. Then, let's see. There's 2 bolts in the saddle about right here to unhook the screw from the casting. There they are right there, actually. And that's it. In here, the connector that feeds the screw with oil, there is a spring and 2 pieces of felt, and then an O-ring that when the nut gets bolted down, compresses the O-ring so it doesn't leak out the sides. And I used like Scotch brand 3M chair feet, like the little felt pads. I used one of those as my felt, and I replaced the felt that was in there. So hopefully that works. It seems like it's lubricating, so that's good. That's pretty much it there. That's the whole system. I mean, it's super simple. Obviously, if you take it apart, you're going to want to clean your drain lines. Make sure they're clear. But the oil comes up through the center of the table in 2 ports, drains right on top of the rails, or I always say rails, the ways here, and then those ways drain back into the casting. So you got to make sure all those ports are clean. Let's see. You can visibly see through the ones that drain from the table to the saddle. So that's not a huge concern, I don't think. But the ones that go back in here, mine were completely clear, it seemed like. I did, blow some oil through them and air compress, and it flowed very easily, so not super worried about it. That's pretty much it. Not real expensive to replace all those parts, and the oil pump is, seems better than the original. So, yeah.